For 3 years, every few months, I had a suitcase mentally packed. At times, I really hated it here in Germany. I often felt isolated and alone. The language was a huge wall, and I just felt like an outsider. All I wanted was to go back to the energy I knew before when we were living in Spain, with the constant sunny weather, with the amazing food, and a lot going on. But we stayed. And the strange thing is, the things that made me stay were the exact opposite of what I thought I wanted. This is the truth about my 4 years in Germany. I almost left, but these 3 things kept me here, and now I'm actually happy. The reason number 1 is the peace and quiet. We moved to a really tiny town in Germany, in the middle of nowhere, from a rather busy area in Spain. So before moving to Germany, me and my husband were living in Spain, close to Barcelona, and that whole area is really, really busy. Like, the density of population is really high. Spain in general as a culture is much more loud, much more active, and moving to a small German town where the culture is more closed and people are more individualistic, and like the town is actually in the middle of nowhere, and it's a really small town, 17,000 people. In the beginning, this just felt like nothing is going on here. If you want to do something fun on the weekend, you have to take a car or a train and go to the closest city, which for us is Nuremberg. Otherwise, you're kind of stuck in this more isolated place where, just not much is going on, and people generally stay indoors more, and it feels like nobody is doing anything. And at times it really felt like boredom. It's weekend and it's raining, it's really cold and gray. And this a lot of times felt like, why are we here? What are we doing here? But after living here for some years, after becoming parents ourselves, and after many conversations with myself and just thinking what it is that I actually need, I realized that this boring way of living is actually great at this moment in my life. And now, rather than perceiving it as boring and isolating, I think of it as peace and quiet. It's just peaceful and quiet. It's calm. And as I said, a huge part of that is becoming a parent and just completely changing priorities and realizing that safety on the street and just this calm way of living where kids can run around in the city center without danger of being hit by a car, this just brings me really deep internal peace at this season in my life. Another reason why I started to really appreciate Germany more and started to love it more is the proximity to nature, which, to be honest, this thing is something that I've always loved from the first time we moved here. Again, comparing to Spain, Germany is just so much greener in summer. There's more variety of nature, there's rivers, there is mountains, not so far from us, the Alps. And once the more gray and dark seasons are over, the nature is literally bursting, and I love spring so much. But I also learned to appreciate different seasons in Germany, not just the obviously beautiful and one of the best seasons like summer where everything is just coming alive, but also a more gray and calm autumn and even a dark winter. What I love the most is the change. In Spain, it was very predictable. Most of the days you get up and it will be sunny and it will be warm. But in Germany, you can feel more this change of seasons and change of energy, which I personally really like. I love how after a bursting and more active summer, there is a period to slow down, to get more indoors, to make your house cozy. And there's a lot of themes, like the pumpkin, Halloween, fall theme, and then there is Christmas. I personally really appreciate seasons and kind of this change that the seasons bring to my life. And they're just the opportunity to kind of change up your routine a little bit, or your house, and just the activities that you're doing. I grew up in Russia with a really, really high contrast between seasons. So I guess this just makes me feel more at home, because brings me this familiar feeling from my childhood. And a third, and I think this is maybe the most understandable reason for many people, and the reason why many people still do move to Germany, it's the financial stability. Of course, it's 2025 now, and the job market is insane, and there is so many people that are struggling. So every situation is different, but I haven't felt the sense of stability when I was living in Spain the same way that I feel it in Germany. And it's not just the job itself that's given me a stable salary and so on, but also the government helps and the stability and the support that you get from that, whether it's kindergartens being practically free or getting child benefits from the government monthly. Things like this that really bring a sense of peace and a sense of stability, which again, as I said, I have not felt before when I was living in Spain. And feeling calm and not having any anxiety about finances, in my opinion, gives you the freedom and frees up the space and energy in you to take care of other things, to have hobbies, to have, I don't know, different interests, because you are not constantly worried about the future and so on. So yeah, in this sense, the financial stability that Germany gives, and to me that equals peace of mind, that's just something that I truly appreciate and don't take for granted. Let me guys know what you think. Do you agree with my points? Do you love living in Germany, or do you hate living in Germany? I'm really curious to read. But to give you more context about where I am at 4 years later, I think one of the things that also make me feel much more at home now in Germany and kind of feel like our town is now my town, it's just getting to know more people in it. And yeah, fortunately, I made some friends in our little town. I have my girlfriends who I can get together sometime and just hang out, which is super important for me and for my sense of belonging. I do some local courses now and then, which also help me feel more integrated, even if I don't feel integrated. Like sometimes I would go to these courses, for example, I go to yoga class, and I still do feel like an outsider 100%, because whenever I go to these courses, there is no foreigners, there is only locals, only Germans. And I think that there is that division in the German society where foreigners, expats, immigrants still, are a little bit separated from the locals. So yeah, usually when I go to places like this, I am the only foreigner, to be honest. But for me, it's so important to do something local like this. I work from home. My husband is also a foreigner. Like, we're just in the bubble, in our own bubble. And I think it's so important to actually have some points of contact with local community, whether it's courses, classes, clubs, kindergarten in our sense as well. The only thing that I would love to improve in my life in Germany era right now is my language. And yes, I do speak German. I would say I can get around quite okay. I can speak to kindergarten teachers and so on. But sometimes I really struggle with my own speaking because I just don't practice enough. As I said, I work remotely, I work in English. At home, we also speak English and other languages, and I just don't practice German enough. So I would love to improve my German, but at the same time, it has just not been my priority. I'm just a busy mom. I work full time, I have a kiddo, and I'm just trying to do it all already. So sometimes it's like, I don't have time to also add German classes to my schedule, but that's still something that's bugging me from time to time when I'm having some sort of conversation and I feel like I cannot really quickly react and I just end up being silent. But yeah, I'm quite surprised myself that I am where I am, because even 1 year ago I was really ready to move. Like, I could not see us living in Germany long term. But now I feel really happy and at peace with our life here. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give it thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more about my life in Germany, whether it's videos like this or just daily vlogs from my small town life. And yeah, I hope to see you around. Bye bye.